So this is for you if you want to start a freelance videography business, and more specifically, how to generate an income so that you can be making 6 figures a year and working on some of those dream projects. And this comes from my own experience of running a production company here in the UK, where we've grown over time from being a freelance videographer, just starting out the same as you, to now employing a team of people, having a studio, and working with major clients all over the world. As a result of the advice I'm going to give you today, we've been able to generate millions in revenue. We've established tens of thousands in recurring revenue every single month. And this is really, really key for longevity and growth of your business. But where do you start out when you're on that freelancer journey? And there's a big difference between a production company and being a freelancer. Freelancer is going to leverage quite a lot on having a personal brand. It's about who you are, your ability, and your personal name in the industry. I'm going to break this video up into 5 key points that you can follow along the way. And this will be my most impactful piece of advice that I wish I knew when I was starting out. And the first is you've got to put in the work. So many people start businesses and don't realize how much actually goes into it. And ultimately what we're talking about here is your ability to make sales. If you can't make sales, and maybe that's because you perhaps lack confidence, or perhaps you just don't know where to start in that process, or you feel like you've just been unlucky and you've tried everything, that inability to make sales isn't going to give you longevity or success in your business at all. And the reality is most of the people that I work with and mentor through my academy, they simply are just not putting in enough work. And to give you some numbers here as well, if I'm outreaching to businesses in a particular sector, I want to be looking to speak to at least 20 businesses a day. And that's on the low end. Any good salespeople would be doing 50 to 100 people a day. And it really comes down to being a sales number. But unfortunately, a lot of people, they use a hope strategy where they sit by the phone just hoping a sale will come in. And an actionable tip that I can give you straight away is just set out a year goal. Literally just write on a piece of paper, this time next year, what do you want to have achieved? Whether that's a financial goal or maybe it's working for a type of client, what does that look like? Because as soon as you've got that down on a bit of paper, we can then backwards engineer it and work out, okay, what are the steps you need to make to get there? And this is similar to what I do every single year in our business, but without that goal when you're starting out, you're just kind of like free with the wind, and then nothing really happens, and a lot of people go, oh, it just didn't work for me, I couldn't make money from it. And it's like, no, you just didn't have the focus. That focus, by writing down that action plan, will give you purpose when you get up and to put in the work, because you know that you're only a matter of time away from getting that dream project. Which then leads me into my second point, which is the more no's you get, the better chance you'll have of a yes. Sales is a numbers game overall, and freelancers who are starting out are going to get beat down. You have to be okay with failure, and you need to completely disregard that term. It just needs to have no meaning. Failure is when you walk away from something. That's where it's a true line in the sand. It has failed. As long as you're not doing that, it's only ever learning. I have made so many failures in my business. I've lost hundreds of thousands through bad decisions and oversights, but I've learned from them. And I've put in measures to ensure that that never ever happens again. And if you're adapting and growing, then how can it be failing? And you need to become okay with that. And something that I know a lot of you are going to struggle with on this journey is trying to make sales and being constantly rejected, having people not believe in you. And something that really resonates with me is this saying that if I told you that you were only 5 no's away from £1 million contract, how quickly would you want to get your first no? Be pretty quick, right? So you come off the phone, or you're speaking to a client and they say nope, they reject you. How eager will you be to pick up the phone and get another no? Because if you know that that's a matter of time, it's like get through the no's quickly and then you're going to get a yes. And that's the best approach that I could give you when it comes to sales, is speak to as many people as possible and don't be scared of rejection. It's a them problem, not a you problem. It's okay, not everyone's going to be the right fit for your business. So the more no's you get, you will inevitably be one step closer to getting a yes. Tip number 3 is only care about one person. When we start out, particularly with filmmaking, we can do everything. We can create videos of just about everything. But what's going to really help you pick up those dream clients and those dream projects is how you're able to solve a challenge that a particular person is facing. Because that's what life is, right? Every business, every person is facing challenges, and they're trying to find solutions to fix them, to move them forward. And by having just one person in mind is going to make it really easy for you to talk to that type of person. So let's say maybe your figure is you want to earn £100,000 this year. Okay, fine. So the best chance that you're going to have success of achieving that number is by finding an industry that's lucrative, understanding their problems and challenges, and then creating solutions for that. And then just having that one person in mind. It's not about what you think, it's about what do they need, because not enough creatives do that. We can create cool videos, yeah, but does it actually solve a problem? Because the bigger the problem that you can solve, the more money that you can charge. But let's say that's not your goal. Let's say for you, your goal is you want to create a commercial for a car company. Okay, why do car companies advertise? What challenge are they facing? Sales, right? They want to generate more sales. So they want to, first of all, like I've mentioned on this channel before, people need to know that you exist. If they don't know that you exist, they're never going to buy from you. And it's the same thing with car companies. If they don't know that this new model has been released, people won't buy it because they won't be aware of it. So that's why they run marketing campaigns to attract the right type of buyers into their business. And you might think that they're targeting everyone because everyone can drive a car. They're not. They have an idea every time they release a model of who that person is, the same way as you're trying to get an understanding of them. So let's say that's a goal for you. You start to think about the challenges that they're facing, how you can help them, and what you can bring to the table that's different. And maybe there's some stepping stones here as well, which I'll go into later on this video, which will help people who want to work for specific industries or specific types of content. Number 4 is some advice that I struggled to come to terms with early on in my journey, and it definitely held me back from growing quicker. And that's the fact that perfection is the enemy of good. As creatives, we can get so focused on the nuances, the really fine details, the thing, it has to be perfection. And the problem with that is, number one, people don't want to make sales because they feel like they're not good enough until they achieve that level that they've got in their mind. That's not true. I've seen people who produce terrible content literally charging thousands for their work. And then on the other side of things as well, I see people who spend so much time over editing content that they're not getting paid for. They might have only charged the client for a day of editing and it's taken them a week because they're going through the fine details of it. Sometimes good is good enough, and it's our ability to learn from it and learn processes and systems to become quicker. If we can do our job as efficiently as possible, we will increase our hourly wage, or our day rates will increase because we're able to deliver a better quality product in a fraction of the time. And this is why being a perfectionist is really bad, because the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know. And when your knowledge increases, you just constantly move that bar. So let's say you've got an idea right now of what the most perfect edit is in your mind, and you won't be happy until you achieve that. But the problem is, when you learn how to achieve that, you also learn how to get to that next level, and then cinema level, and then so on and so forth. And it's a constantly moving goal. So understand that as long as you are delivering on what you promised and you're delivering on the client's expectations, then it's all just about self-development. But don't waste time and money making things perfect that just don't need to be at this point of your journey. And finally, before I link back to one of the most impactful points that made a huge difference to me when I was starting my freelance journey, do me a favor. If you're getting any value out of this video, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It helps us more than you know, and I'd really appreciate that. So one of the biggest things that I could leverage as a freelancer was learning from other people. We work in one of the most collaborative industries you could possibly imagine. You only need to drop someone a DM who's a filmmaker, and I guarantee that you'll be starting up a conversation. And if they're in a local area, they'd be more than happy to meet up. Because we all collaborate as freelancers on different projects, it means that it opens up the doors to their clients, and then you can learn from them. You can shadow from them while getting paid. You can then also return the favor. When you need support on a project, you can bring in those professionals to help you grow your business and leverage their skill set to produce better quality work. Those relationships were so important when I started out. Asking them questions like, how much should I charge? How much do you charge? What do you think would be a good rate for me? Where do you think I can improve? Oh, I noticed that you got this type of client. They would be my dream client. How did you manage to achieve that? And by leveraging those relationships will enable you to work on those dream clients, because those people and those production companies will open up the doors for you so that you get to work on these dream projects. Finally, as a bonus tip, proof of concept is always going to be helpful. So any spare time that you've got where you're not doing sales, which should make up a good chunk of your day-to-day, you should then be developing your skill set and producing free content for the industries or brands that you want to go after. So if you're going after the fitness industry, create content to prove what amazing job you can do for the fitness industry, because it's going to resonate when you move on to those sales calls, or when you speak to those other production companies or freelancers to collaborate with. You'll be able to show them your work. They'll be able to provide advice and feedback in the way of at least collaborating with other freelancers. But having that case study, that that proof of concept, which will actually move you much further forward than you could possibly imagine. I hope you found these tips useful. If there's anything you want to learn, let me know in the comments below. Why not take a look at this video? YouTube thinks it's going to be a great fit for you at the stage of business you're at now, and there's so much value on this channel to help you grow and make a real living out of it.